Okay, this is Justin from the Red Scare, or Encore Productions, my YouTube handle. Today I'm going to show you how I make the lighting, theatrical effects lighting, I guess, for my walkthrough haunted house. Okay? I like to do it cheap and easy and, as efficient as possible. So, what I do is I grab most of my stuff from the dollar store. I have obviously some tools kicking around and these little light gels that I got off eBay. So what you need are, a small flashlight like this, usually about $2 at the dollar store, at least here in Canada. Electrical tape, wire cutters, needle nose probably, or any pliers that you can work with well. Some scissors. I've got 20 gauge hardware wire. Again, just from the dollar store. You can use heavier gauge. I would maybe recommend. I wouldn't go lighter than this. And of course, these guys. They usually come about double that size. And what they are they're flash gels for like a camera flash, like a detachable flash. You can usually get them in a kit. They come in a range of colors. I'm using just blue for this demo, but you can get anywhere from just warm shades for like white light all the way up to dark blues, greens, reds, yellow, orange, everything. So I think the whole pack maybe cost me $10 on YouTube, or on eBay. These are awesome because they're specifically designed for coloring light. Yeah, so let's go ahead. So the first step, obviously, is to get yourself a flashlight. And what I do is I take the gel and I cut it in half with these scissors. And then what you need to do is you're going to be fitting it over the end of your camera, over the end of your flashlight so that it looks something like that. Okay, and what I usually do is I cut it to fit that. You want it to be able to wrap around and be covered by electrical tape. I'm sure that doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now, but it will in a second. So you're going to make 4 cuts about the width of the diameter of the flashlight, okay? And then we'll start with the electrical tape. Because I don't have nails apparently. Okay, so what I do is I start out by covering right up to the cut line, like that, so that you've got half is lens, like half is on the gel, and half is still exposed for stickiness. And then take that right to where you had the cut, and I tape it down like this, and then I wrap it, and I go all the way around, and then I fold this down again so that the other 2 cuts line up. And sometimes you need to cut them just a little bit more so that it wraps and it doesn't warp the gel completely. Just kind of like that. Okay. And then yeah, just fold it down, wrap it all the way around, just like that. And then at the ends, you can just continue wrapping it right around so that the whole thing just gets taped right down like this. Okay? And I'll give you guys a little demo of what the actual lighting effect is for this. So there you go. Alright? So whenever you turn this on, it's going to be a nice colored light. Okay? I don't think I put batteries in this one right now, but I will. Anyway, moving right along. So the next step is to give you something to mount it with. And this part's pretty straightforward. I take about a foot of the wire. Okay. And what you want to end up with is 2 points of connection on your light. So I start by just wrapping it around and tightening it up, just like that. And this is where the needle nose come in really well, because you can clamp it right down, right at the bottom of there, and just tighten it up. Now you got to be careful about that, because you don't want to turn it so much that it shears right off. Okay, so that's kind of what you want, and I tend to just kind of flatten this up so you don't jab yourself. It's just aggravating. Okay, and then I take the other end, fold it down just inside like this groove. It's a good spot for it. And do the same thing at this end. Okay. Oops. Okay. So you get kind of 2 points of connection right there. And then I take the middle part here and I just twist it like that. And I twist it all the way down. Until there's enough distance for you to put in, you know, a nail or a screw. I use screws, of course, but, you know, I'm sure nails work just as well. But you just kind of want, you know, 1/8 of an inch, 2.5, 3 millimeters, whatever, just in that little spot right there, so that you can screw that to the wall, and then you can bend this in whatever direction you want. Up lighting, down lighting, specific task lighting, right? You know, just whatever direction you want. Maybe do a little better of a job of attaching it to the actual flashlight than I did. But yeah, that's basically it. The other thing is, this covers a nice wide area, but if you want to taper the light, you can do that using, like, you know, foil. I think the theatrical lighting foil. I don't know specifically what that's called, but, you know, it's out there. Google it. Or you can do what I've tended to do and just take more electrical tape, start it about halfway off of the light itself, right? So that you just get this kind of tube sort of a space in there, right? And that just tapers your lighting so that it can be more specifically geared towards a particular direction. Okay? So that's it. And I mean, the cost is maybe like, you know, if you're doing a whole bunch of these, you're buying the whole set of the gels, you know, it's like $10 or something, a flashlight each, you know, $2, batteries, some tape, some tools, whatever. It's really low cost compared to a lot of the products that are out there. Not that there's anything wrong with those products, it's just that I try to work without a power source, just so I don't have a lot of cables to run, and I can devote power to other things, other props, and, you know, things like that. And these are just easy. You just walk through, you turn them on, you can angle them however you want, and, you know, if something happens to your lighting, you know, like weather, whatever, the most you've lost is like $3. You're not damaging an expensive system that you have to constantly replace. You know, you can run out and make these nice on the fly. You don't have to worry about waiting for your lights to get there on time if you don't have enough of them or anything like that. So this is what I like to do. If it works for you, that's great. If it doesn't, what can I say? I tried. I'll give you a little demo of how these lights work, okay?